Welcome back to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. I am Coach Jolie, and today I'm joined by Coach Terra and Coach Adam. And today we're going to be chatting about something super important, warm-ups. Something that people skip, something that people just want to rush through. But before we dive into that, I want to give a shout out to Member of the Week. So we are going to shout out Kathy Cooper this week. Adam, you want to talk about Kathy Cooper?
Kathy Cooper is a very fresh, very new client in week 2. Going to finish week 2 in a couple of days. But in my eyes, it's kind of like jumped to the top as like a model client. She's got a great attitude, very willing to learn, but already pretty knowledgeable, which you got to respect that because someone that's willing to learn but already knows a lot, that's a good mindset to have, I would say. So she's coming over from another gym that she just wasn't pleased with the level of coaching. So we've been able to connect with her pretty quickly. And she seems to be liking the programming really well and progressing really fast and correctly through our body mapping phase, which is the first 2 weeks of when we onboard a client. So she's going to jump in next week to where we are at the gym globally. And I think she's a great role model for people that are coming in, like how to approach starting here kind of the right way and take like full advantage of it. So just think she did a great job of that, killing it. So going to call her out.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Shouting out Kathy Cooper. Yeah, she's been super motivated, high energy. I know she's connected with some of our members and just has really dived into the legacy community. So congrats, Kathy.
Congratulations.
Awesome. All right, you guys. So warm-ups, something that I think a lot of people want to either skip or rush through or just completely have no idea what to do when they're warming up. They're like, I'm going to the gym, I'm going to work out, but I have no idea what I think I should warm up. What should I be doing? So, Terra, you're going to the gym. You're doing squats. You warming up beforehand? What are you doing?
Of course.
Yeah.
Especially squats, that's that exercise everyone wants to go heavy on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a good idea at all to jump into a heavy squat without a proper warm-up, because you want to get your body ready and to move in that movement pattern.
Right. So I think a lot of people want to look at a warm-up as something that's extra, right? But we, I think, do a pretty good job here of kind of showing people that it helps you move better, proving that like a warm-up is helping you have a more effective workout, right? So Adam, what would you say is a super effective aspect to a warm-up, or what makes a warm-up effective?
Well, I think there's 3 goals you have to keep in mind, or kind of 3 components that you want to be the outcome of your warm-up. I think you want to see, number 1, increased body temperature. Muscle groups work better at elevated temperature, so they're just going to contract faster and relax more efficiently. So you definitely want that, obviously, while you're exercising. So increasing muscle temperature is goal number 1. So obviously, to get moving, you don't want to just jump into an exercise without priming that muscle group. I think goal number 2, joint mobility and range of motion. Mm-hmm. Just like anything, you go to just even get out of bed, joints are going to be stiff because you've been sitting still. I know, this morning it's happening to all of us. But especially when you're going to then go and stress those joints through resistance training, strength training, you want to mobilize them and essentially show them any possible angle, range of motion, movement that they could encounter during the workout. So I guess that range of motion and joint mobility. And then also on more of a nervous system level, like priming your central nervous system, because neurons need to be firing to the muscle groups correctly and efficiently to be able to like essentially output like the best performance that you can. So being able to make that mind muscle connection before you begin is super crucial. You don't want your brain to be playing catch up and just kind of throwing it into the fire. So I think those are the 3 main goals. As far as what it looks like with strength training, you want to include dynamic warm-ups, things that will increase temperature, body temperature. a lot of times people go and do a lot of static stretching, which is, long duration holds of certain muscle groups, which there's research that shows that actually decreases performance level on a lot of instances. So you want to basically provide or be, I don't know, locomotion is the word I think of, like moving. So I think being dynamic and kind of flow type exercises where you're continuously moving are the most efficient. So that's what we try to do with our programming. We usually have a mobility aspect, something dynamic, and then sometimes some things like foam rolling, which can be like just muscle activation just by contact with the muscle group. So that's what we try to include in our warm-ups.
Yeah, I think you brought up some good points, especially priming the joints for movement and then with the nervous system too. Yeah, the neuroactivation, that's super important because we're literally signaling to the brain like, hey, it's safe for us to move, right? Yeah, Terra, do you have more to add on that one?
Like with the neuroactivation, like that's really important. Like you said, it's giving the brain that signal, but it's also allowing when that signal is going to the brain and coming back to the muscle, that's also helping with that coordination. So when we've primed it in the warm-up, you've told your body we're going to go through this movement pattern. So now it's like, okay, when we go to lift those weights or go to start those exercises, the body has been primed and know what it's going to do. So when you're adding the weight, it's a coordinated effort.
Definitely.
For lack of a better phrase.
Definitely.
But you're able to actually be efficient in performing that exercise because your brain and your muscles are already been talking like, okay, this is what we're about to do. And then when you go to execute that movement under that resistance, so whatever, with that weight that have chosen for that exercise, your body's able to complete that movement efficiently and effectively.
Right. And when someone does that, they're helping to prevent a risk of injury. They're making sure, like Adam touched on too, like priming your joints for movement and everything like that too. So super important.
Yeah, and just kind of on like kind of dummy down or like simpler version, like you're just getting in the correct headspace because you don't want, when people go to the gym, a lot of times they lack a plan or, haven't thought out what they're going to do. So throwing themselves into a workout quickly without any structure, it's not going to be a super efficient workout. So being able to, almost kind of think about it while you're warming up, doing whatever dynamic warm up you're doing, can have like a positive effect on like the workout itself because your brain's starting to think about it, and then you're thinking about what exercises you're going to perform. Okay, I'm going to add this then into my warm up. So there's just that kind of mental preparation. It's also taking place. Focus.
Yeah, the focus. And I think sometimes here it happens, guys. We get it. Like you're living a busy lifestyle. You're trying to get to the gym on time for your appointment, your session. But sometimes you're late. You're a few minutes late, and you come in. And you're like, oh God, I just need to start. Like I'm short on time. Like we are 99.9% of the time going to have you do a version of the warm-up, even if it's a shorter version, because it's so important that we're making sure that you're approaching your workout smarter. We're being effective about it. We're going into things just being super safe and smart about everything. Yeah. Awesome. So Terra,
skip it.
Don't skip it. Don't skip it. What do you think people get wrong about a warm-up, Terra?
Part of it will be, or for me, just from years of watching, either trying to go through it too quickly, and then like rushing the whole entire warm up, and then sometimes rushing specific movements within the warm up. So if we're doing a specific exercise, and we want you to say we're doing exercise, and we want you to hold or position or take yourself like a 5 breath count. It's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like you're going slowly through the motion for a reason. It's nice and controlled. You're not trying to be quick. Like you are trying to prime the muscles. You are trying to get the brain and the muscles coordinated. Like it's a coordinated effort for what you're trying to do. So rushing through it essentially is actually a disadvantage to what you're doing because you're setting yourself up for a potential injury because you're not getting that full range of motion. You're not doing what the warm-up is set up to do. So when you're rushing through it, it's almost as if you were better off not doing it than rushing through it. So
Right.
like they go hand in hand. If you're going to do it, take the time and do it properly. So when you do get to that exercise, you're ready to go.
Right. Yeah. I think it kind of adds to that point of people see a warm up as like an extra component to their workout, and it's actually essential. It's an essential point.
Yeah, it should just be viewed as any other exercise, any exercise that you would spend time on, focusing on form, because you want to make sure that you're activating everything that you want to, and that you are not just wasting time, essentially just moving around or like flopping yourself on a foam roller or something like that. Like you want to, want to prime what you want to prime.
Like you're prepping the movement pattern.
Yeah.
If you're not going to do it in the warm up, when you're getting ready to do it in the workout, you didn't do it. So your body's like,
Yeah.
what are we doing now? And it's like, well, I did that in my warm up. Like, well, you didn't. You did half of it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why our first block of our warm up is literally called Move Better, because you need to move better. You need to make sure that you're moving effectively throughout the rest of your workout, lifting strong, and just making sure we're safe about everything.
Mm-hmm.
You guys think we're missing anything about warm ups?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's
Just
not.
take your time with it. Like it's important, and like you said, it's not an extra component. It's part of it. So even if you fall behind or you come in late, like carve out time. Like a warm up itself can be like a form of exercise, right? Like some people dedicate days alone to just mobility, like having a mobility, low stress on muscle group kind of day. So you can fill like an hour workout with just what would be considered like warm up exercises. So like don't feel rushed and don't feel bad if you feel like you're spending a lot of time on it, because it's not wrong. It's not like a wrong thing to do. So yeah.
It's not extra. It's essential.
It's essential.
It's essential. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with more great stuff.
Thank you so much for listening to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. Do you have a question that you'd like for us to answer live on the podcast? If so, all you need to do is head over to the Apple Podcast app on your iPhone and do 3 simple things. First, leave us a rating and review telling me what you think of the podcast. In that review, ask anything you want related to health, fitness, or nutrition. And if you want a shout out, leave us your Instagram handle or name. That's all you have to do. Then listen to hear your questions answered live on the next Q&A episode.